Thank you all so much for coming and being here. We realized that you could be anywhere in the world and you chose to be here right now, and that means something to us, so thank you very much. Yeah, I think there will be some zones. Eventually we'll make our way back into this space, and I would recommend earplugs because I get the feeling it might get loud, or there's a possibility of it getting loud. And the last thing we would like to do is damage your hearing. So there's earplugs back there. Please help yourself. And lastly, I would like to just give a big shout out to the Jack Straw Cultural Center, to Levi, to Aisha, to Carlos, to where's Sandesh? Anywhere else? Zeus, everyone here. And we would also love to thank the City of Seattle Office of Arts and Culture, who has also helped make this work possible and tonight possible. So thank you so much.
Very cool. All right, everyone. Oh, yeah. I'm glad we're all together. We're going to start with the marathon reading. Readers are going to be going down the hall. We'll all converge. So a reader will stop, and then we'll just kind of keep trucking on into the hall until we get to the studio. It's going to be a little clunky. Mind your neighbor. Be nice. And once again, if you have not gathered earplugs by the time we come back to this room again, that would be the time. It's going to get loud. I had a woman do this last time, and I was like, that makes me feel bad. Like, that's what the earplugs are for. Anyways, cool. Thank you all really for being here. I'll probably be a little bit more verbose at the end, as usual. Let's party. I don't have a better way. Who's going first? I just told everyone to go in the order that they would like to go in, which is probably the only way it'll happen, and then I'll announce everyone. It'll be great. Hell yeah. Interesting. Where is everybody? All right. This is already starting off a little weird. Come on, everybody. Come on.
They're going to come to us. Okay, they're going to come to us.
All right, everybody. First up, Teresa Hayes.
Okay. Do you want people to come in?
Yeah, come on.
Okay. All right, my poem is called...
Stretch out.
Okay. My poem is called Please Don't Feed the Crows on Someone Else's Block. Beginning their ringing at nautical twilight, the crows wake starved, cawing, carving through window panes like church bells intermittently breaking dawn air. Cabbage leaves reveal where rabbit teeth have been. Hunger leaves traces the shape of rain-logged, cracked peanut shells, soggy underfoot, scattered upon uneven sidewalk stones. As I come across a blood-red cherry, I watch as the crow who's been antagonizing my dog swoops from a neighbor's rooftop to pluck it perfectly from the center of the pavement. Another neighbor reported 2 ravens sharing a mouse's carcass, entrails spilling like May cherry almond blossoms snowing to the ground. It's not that I don't want the birds to eat. The street is abundant with plums, green flesh torn easily from its keepsake stone pit, shaped like ripe lunaria annua pods. I delight in picking my teeth with my tongue, excavating weeds from their root. How uneven my second chance bones have grown in, purposefully latching onto each moment of every meal. The avalanche of apples from across the street roll down the Airbnb's driveway. Listen, it's a drum roll. The aforementioned crows will enjoy sauced compost on asphalt platter garnished with dry foliage, and next door the figs are softer than velvet. When you pierce the skin, it's almost translucent, like the suggestion of fence that the crows can no longer scurry on. To those crows who peck relentlessly at front gardens as you are grasping for worms of all sizes, bustling beetles eating through shit and grubs flailing joints skittering, do you pity us driving one by one on our morning commutes? Or while unpredictably pulling guttered moss muck, unlikely companions on backyard chairs, do you hate us for feeding your young, flinging shelled peanuts by the fistful and then abandoning their adulthood? Is that why you scream your warbling disagreements down each other's beaks? Thank you.
Now, Emily Mundy. Whoop, whoop. Come on into the hall, everybody. So much fun in here.
If language left us, what if, I ask myself and you, language left completely? What if we cupped it from within us, poured it out in small pitchers of banishment? Would it feel like abandonment or relief? Released from articulation's task to make meaning, would our eyes drink in the world for what it really is, a complex arrangement of charged instances? Would we craft potions for sleep, for the sake of sleep itself? Would the dream guides have a party without us? Without a bend toward lyric, would our lungs learn to simply breathe, to take shape? Would our muscles hold together in unresolve? Would the emptiness, subsequent and increasing, allow the holiest iteration of self to step from the ink into the growing invisible? Would the greater than reveal its outline in a glow, as opposed to a string of sentences? Would it feel like death? And if so, would death leave us dishes to do at the crossover? Would there be herbs to steep, people to meet? Would our mouths fill with abundance or barrenness? If language left, how might we remember the endless faces of dusk? Would we come to know the secret of the bird song? Would the flux search for a throat to speak through? Without transformation's grasp on a single word, would we become or simply come undone? And how might the auspicious moment of now open its palms to each day? Without poetry, would kissing change? Would we disappear the afternoon delight? Would the ghosts in our bedrooms finally find the light? Would the spark inside consume new fodder or flicker? What of wisdom earned and devotion ritualized, if not for the sight of encounter upon a page? If language left, would the spoon that stirs honey in the cup just be a spoon? Would the moon that casts her longing over the tides, our blood, these bodies, finally just be the moon?
Let's go. Ali Yang.
This poem is called Happiness in This Economy. I want the power to explode things with my mind. Lime scooters, presidents, empires. I want to be sexy, like a ripe dragon fruit or a worn leather boot. Not cute, like a declawed kitten or an Asian grandma whose grandkid posts videos of her on TikTok. I want to explode TikTok with my mind. I don't want the woman at my gym who always works out barefoot to be exploded, because that seems harsh, but I do want her to put some fucking shoes on. I want to sleep for a very long time, more than a month, but less than forever, without suffering through the concerned and pitying looks of loved ones and employers and mental health professionals. I want to have perfect skin and a perfect ass and no genitals whatsoever. I want to be desired in a way that asks nothing of me, to be loved from afar and without my knowledge, like the sun or the promise of redemption. I want to appear on the Forbes list of top 100 brilliant and alluring transsexuals under the age of 100. I want to live long enough to watch America die. I want to eat the world's most luxurious sandwich. I never want to write another cover letter again. I want, at the end of this poem, for the audience to leap to their feet, applauding, laughing, weeping, waterboarding me with praise and adoration, launching their sweaty jockstraps onto the stage. I want my wretchedness to be rewarded or relieved, and then, for a moment, I will finally be happy.
This poem is called Celebration. Today I'm on the bus, dressed in a fuchsia, tiger-striped, sequined pantsuit. Not just a pantsuit, nor tiger-striped or sequined, but fuchsia. Fuchsia! When him to the right mans his lips to whisper faggot, and my queer becomes the softest storm spinning any room alive. Fucking faggot, his eyes a glowing hate crime, and I check my nails. Wave their red flag at him and all his bullshit, because this is what unbothered looks like. And as my last nerve slowly gets up and walks around the corner, I cross my legs. Unbothered. Fucking faggot acts like it can't hear me. See, the world is always grating against me, rubbing on me like a genie in a golden lamp, wishing and wishing for me to make magic of myself, and I am, well, magic. Because being black, over 25, queer, not in jail, sane and alive in Seattle, is magic. So yes, I court every day like a celebration, like it's my birthday, dressed like it's a holiday like Easter. Because every day I'm alive is a resurrection of a dream my ancestors didn't even know they were allowed to have. Him barks, faggots die around here. And I think Trey must have fallen and bumped his fucking head because, well, I am from around here. Raised on the same diet of manhood. It's just a prison of limitations, right? You can't, you don't, you ain't. Till you ain't nothing but a cage to be circling all your can'ts. And I get it. Hurt people, well, you get it. Hurt people. And me, I'm nothing if not knifed into my own trauma and ready for battle. Ever since Corey was attacked in the 3rd grade for acting gay. Ever since Donovan was burned alive for being, the barbed wire of my fist have been an electric gate humming try me. Ever since the 1st time, the 10th time, or the 38th time I was called faggot and didn't bark back, I've cut my teeth on the pebbles of my own shame, all because some men feel they must destroy anything that doesn't bow to the acts of their masculinity. I've become a gathering storm, a vengeful holiday, a weapon, ready to violence open anyone who fucketh with meeth. But there is no metaphor for the way that I feel, but maybe only this, if him calls me out my name one more time, I will blow out his candle and grant his wish, because it's my birthday. So let the celebration begin. And I said fuchsia, motherfucking fuchsia.
Allison Lee.
This is called An Aubergine Ending, after a poem by the same name by Chris Bevins. She leaves her clothes in my bedroom as if to build a nest. I find it in pretty piles, purple piles, like the rest. Purple piles, purple flowers, purple gemstones on her neck, purple mocktails, purple nail polish, purple mountains curved just like her back. Outside, parked in the driveway, I'm not afraid anymore. She smiles upon first sight as I approach the door. Freshly colored hair, the glowing full moon, her tattooed arms stretched far and wide. She knows the sun rises soon while stars are dying in the sky. Purple finds me in the garden, in the blooming bulbs on my street. She finds me after work, brings my day to an aubergine ending. By my side, she comes alive before my eyes, and she tells me I'll find that I too am purple deep inside.
Alejandra, everybody.
I have 2 short poems for you. The first one is an ode to morning sun. Morning sun peeks through closed blinds as I wake up in a sweat. Months of bitter darkness, and finally, she has arrived. Birds chirp and laughter spills out from every passerby below. I stretch out my limbs towards the light and whisper, I made it through the winter. This poem is titled Chicago 2024. In the heat of summer, cicadas chirping overhead, I rediscover myself. You personify chairs on sidewalks. Nora and I sprint through Midwest rainstorms, tacos in hand. The Chicago skyline shining ahead as we eat beach pizza, then bike home, singing in the street. Adelaide sings songs while friends hum along. We watch on the sideline nestling sweaty drinks. I lose myself too easily, but here I'm found.
To keep a resting face bitchy. To keep the lights in the office on all night. to keep the crap meadow under the gold plate from tarnishing, to keep the weeds from growing in, the grass pristine, to keep from reading the fine print, to keep the leaf blowers roaring all morning, to keep throwing plastic wrappers in the recycling, to keep dropping phones, cracking screens, to keep looking into the distance, to keep painting the strawberries red with lipstick, to keep power washing the driveway, to keep looking down when the waiter refills the water, to keep the dogs off leash, say, oh, but they're friendly, to keep seeing the pretty woman looking away, to keep from being on hold, screaming agent at the robot, to keep pouring oil down the sink drain, to keep eating off paper plates, to keep painting the lipstick red with strawberries, to keep from reading the large print, to keep the television on loud through the daytime programming, to keep barking down rat holes, to keep seeing the ugly hag staring back at nothing else, to keep the couches off the lawn, to keep the plastic in everything, Wonderland, raining down as rain, to keep it down, to keep it up, to keep it back, to keep it going, to keep up the optical illusion, to keep a resting face bitchy, to bitch a resting facing rest, to rest a bitchy keep, to face a keeping rest, to bitch a facing keep, to rest a keeping bitch, to face a resty bitch, to keep the bitchy face resting, to keep a resty facey bitchy, to rest the face, to rest the bitch, to rest the rest, to keep.
Yeah.
It won't be soon before long. It won't be long before soon. It won't be long before doggone, before dawn somewhere down south. The light won't be red for long. Soon the creeks and roadside ditches tangle with watercress, peppery, delicious and crisp. This largesse I have always lacked the finesse. I wanted the word galoshes in there to bear the crest before the mud. Wanted it sweet, wanted it fresh, to sweat before the cannons on the hill overlooking the muddy river and bridge long over the state line. Soon the saltiest crawdads served in giant oil change buckets, and by my own 2 hands it won't be soon. I can't ever explain the kudzu, the June, the sweltering mosquito nights well enough, the Junes. It won't be long how it takes over, and then it's over. I wanted the word bayou in there, but it's never over, and no one gets it like I do. Thank
Everybody, red is for love.
Alright, I'm Keisha. This is called Leeches. Tollman, don't take away my car. Used to hang out in libraries, now it's cafes. Lord, oh please give him the faith not to go back to his old ways. Back in the old days, you like to spit poles knowing that I hate it. Digging holes in your skin and mere thought I can't take it. Bottles of pills and wine Lola don't indulge with. When they found her, she was naked. Had her stomach pumped, doctor said she wasn't going to make it. If you're mean to me, I'm going to love you even harder. I read a lot of shit, but experiences in Jesus makes me smarter. Knowledge is power. Art is freedom. I got it tatted on my shoulder because books, people don't read them. Kiss the hell out of me, please. Bring my sunflower new life. My roots have found meaning. Summer breeze got me feeling fine. Then you swallowed the life out of me. And just when I thought I stood up, I was really kind of leaning. Tollman, don't take away my car. I could pretend to be a rapper and write another ballerina, flexible, graceful with poise, worth bragging. A white boy, suit and tie, whose future is $1 million briefcase filled with noise and lies. Black folks demand freedom, sagging and nagging, heart heavy, sprinting to that church house every Sunday morning. I wish I could write a poem about how I overcome pain, revolution, change, but I'm such an innocent child. Cartoons and cereal, teen years, afros, untamed wild spirit, divine African birth bodies from Nigeria, Kenya, Morocco, Senegal, inspired by the culture from my brothers in Jamaica, infused with style such as soca and calypso, dancing like there is no such thing as war, boombox, Spanish, Harlem, Renaissance, Cops breaking down the door hits me right to my core. My parents' joy from the infantry smile. Little did they know depression hit at an early age, and ever since then it's been a while. Shouting in my face, telling me how to feel. Sitting in the living room trying to examine the badass kids on Dr. Phil. Though fresh fruits, watermelon, pineapple, banana, avocado, and peaches, vegetables in abundance, and except from healing, we're kneeling for wealth, whilst they provide America with GMOs and hormones and guns, trying to get us to kill ourselves. Suck you till you try. Leeches. Thank you.
Bottle ceremony. I remember loss through family gatherings. Most times, we lose more than love. We'd cram in tiniest kitchen, low ceiling, only 6 chairs for 24 of us. Wood beam in the center, and washer next to fridge. We didn't care. Wood stained surface like sickness. Wood barked, rabid from beer foam spilled. Menudo and smell of papas would feel silence echoing through home. Is it ready? Soon. And sure enough, soon came, and mouse began stuffing, scarfing food like last goodbyes. Food fuel our stomachs' motors, revving beast and mouse finally pressing on the horn. Bottle caps hit table, floor, thudding and swirling. Inside famished bellies. There was life in those bottles and bowls. Living memories of dead time. Remember when, and the night truly begins. Ceremony. Definition. When bottles get open and mouths replenished. Silence unlike the dead with us now. I pop the cap. Hits table, fist down. Silence overpowers small talk and quirks. I'm not sure I can stand it. He wants conversation. I see thirst in his attempts. I miss home. Stories of faces made young again. Glimpses of woman before her name forced mama. When uncles were drunk with brotherhood and not separation. I think of mine, but I don't reach. Drink with me, friends. They do. He says he shouldn't. He does anyway. We buffer with card games, and the moon beams in, beckoning us to change. He calls these table talks. I call this ceremony. They share stories I never knew they had. We laugh, and there's a hole in my center, full of unforeseen parts, scrap metal rusted. A hole untouched by drywall. They're careful. Intentions laid out like beer cans. I swallow each story whole.
If I could just have like this diagonal space, that'll be good. I wasn't going to say anything before I did this because I kind of like it when things just start and people are like, what's happening? And I see a lot of other artists that I like do that, and we all just copy the artists that we love. But this ended up being a little more of a prototype than I had hoped to have for y'all today. But that being said, I just want to say that it is dedicated to every queer person and every trans person and every person of color that has ever had to leave their home because it becomes harmful for them. It is for every queer person that stays and holds it down, even if it is dangerous. And it is for communities that this country tries to erase. Specifically, when I made this project, I was thinking of people from the South in the United States, because that is where I'm from. And all the time I hear people say that the South is white, MAGA, racist, male. And it is. but it is so many other things. To group it into one experience and one type of person erases all the Native people that went back and reclaimed their home after Andrew Jackson tried to eliminate them. It erases every person of color that stays, even though police brutality is extremely harsh down there. It erases every trans person that faces extreme violence. It erases women that fight for rights. And so this is dedicated to all queer people, all people of color, all trans people that hold it down wherever they are, but it is a love letter to the South in particular.
This is absolutely intertwined with the way that the South is perceived, and it's like they think of it as some kind of backwards racist wasteland where women have no control over their bodies. And I did feel this sense of superiority when I told people that I'm from Georgia, but I love Georgia and I miss it every day. I miss the Blue Ridge Mountains, miss the Chattahoochee River, the quiet woods, access to fresh farm food and good cooking in Atlanta, of course. It really is empowering to know how many incredible queer people love the South as much as I do and want to stay and be a part of its progress rather than flee.
Experienced when I was growing up, and that was years ago. But also part of it was within myself too, and culturally. On top of just being in the South, I felt like being like an Asian immigrant. That also shaped my queerness more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? On top of I wasn't geographical group in the South. It was okay, my conservative immediate family. And I had my own issues, internally about being accepted, with myself and then with my own family more than I did think about okay, this is the South and people are going to hate me because I'm gay. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's multifactorial in that kind of way. And I felt like my situation made it a bit more complicated, twisted as far as being queer, but not necessarily because it was from the South. It could be this is crazy. We moved to the suburbs. And there was all these white people there that I didn't know even existed in this world. No, because when I was up until 15, all I knew was my Vietnamese family, and then the kids that I went to school with, and there were white kids at our school, but it was maybe 20%, you know what I'm saying? And then the other 10% was Asian or Latino, whatever. So I was to me that was the demographic of the world. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And and our neighborhoods reflected that too. And so, and we went to the suburbs, and I was oh my God, you know the movie Clueless? And
oh my God.
I was I thought that was just a movie, but I was oh, that shit was actually real. And it was a satire on kids like that, because it was kids that were getting cars when they turned 16, kids that were shopping at Abercrombie and Fitch, or kids that were shopping at Hollister, and all this stuff, cheerleaders, and it's oh my God, people who talk like that. And it's just oh shit, this is real.
I feel I never really came out as bi until I moved here, but I feel I sort of always knew. I just was kind of I never really explored it or anything, but I felt it never felt like a big deal to me. I felt really safe, especially with my family and the people that were my friends in Virginia felt safe to me. I definitely could have been hey everyone, I'm bi actually, but I never did it there. But I didn't ever feel I couldn't do it there. I just wasn't ready to talk to people about it. But I think it kind of comes down to how I was raised, my parents, and it just felt to me just sort of a safe space where I was growing up. But I remember feeling really differently kind of outside of where I was, outside of my town, on the outskirts and stuff, and just there was a lot of MAGA guys, they exist there. And actually I didn't know this until I moved away from there, but there's white supremacist guys, and my town is actually famous now for that protest that the car drove into. So it's actually really sad because I'll be like, oh, I'm from Charlottesville, and like I have a lot of like pride being from Charlottesville because it's a cute little town, and like, you know, I grew up loving it. And now it's sad because people will be like, oh, Charlottesville, and I'm like, yeah. Rumors are true, people are friendlier there. The neighbors are friendlier, you know, you walk down the street, people wave at you, they say hi, how's your mom, you know, like, that doesn't happen here. And it is harder to make friends. I noticed that right away when I moved here. I was like, when am I ever going to make friends? This is so difficult.
Like, where I was like, oh, I don't have to be, first of all, one type of woman. And then I was like, wait, I don't have to be a woman at all. And I had never met anybody who, at least openly, was transgressing gender in that way until I moved to Tallahassee. And like, I don't know, like I feel like it was just like something that I didn't know was possible for me, like a lot of people, like queer people's stories. And people think that's, I get the sense that people think that's not happening in the South. Like that people just, the queer people just aren't there. I don't understand why. I'm like, actually, they are there and they're doing it in a way that's super badass and can come with like really material consequences.
I'm still unpacking that feeling of being weird. And of course it's easy to connect it to queerness and transness now. But I'm like, is that what it was? Or was it just like, I was bored, I wanted something bigger than what I had access to? Like I wanted more of the world, I wanted things that weren't within like certain traditions or like conservative morality. Like I always just wanted wildness.
Yes.
Like I liked danger. I liked excitement. I wanted to like do the thing that was like over the line, and that made me feel alive. And maybe there's something in there that about queerness and transness too. Like that's how I feel about it in some ways too, like that transgressiveness. But like, I think it's like a Venn diagram. Mm-hmm. Like that was just like a feeling that I was always chasing. And I think that chasing that feeling also brought me closer to the world of like queer and trans people and anarchists. And so I found more people and my world opened. And I don't think it was necessarily like I was queer and trans. It was like the possibility of experiences opened up and I found ones that spoke to me more. I am my experiences, not like this fixed identity. And I think that's, you know, looking at people from the South or looking at the South, like that you can say the same thing. It's just like, it is not a category, it is a collection of experiences and a collection of places, and like there's overlaps. Like people have different experiences there, and it just matters like who you are at a certain place and time, and like what's happening for you is different.
I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah. I don't know. There's so much to say. I miss lightning bugs.
It was one or the other, or that's what an experience was supposed to be. There was a lot of confusion. I mean, the first time I was called a lesbian, I was 5. So it was like, there was, you know, I'm 5. I didn't know what lesbian meant, but I knew it was a bad word. I didn't have any possibility model. There was no cultural knowledge for trans people. It was like Jerry Springer at like 2 a.m. That's how I learned about trans people, but it was mostly trans women, and so I didn't know that there was even an option. But I wrote in my journal when I was 14, like, that I wanted to be a boy when I got older. Like, I knew it. But then I just like suppressed that until I was 19. And, you know, getting access to care, you had to like know people who knew people. I went out in the one gay part of Dallas, the like 3x3 block. That was our communities, and it was there that I learned about, you know, community clinic, that you could get access to hormones, and it was the only one in like a 2-hour radius from there that you could access gender affirming care for an affordable rate and not be paying, you know, exponential dollars. But it was like, yeah, when you have no possibility models and no vision of what you could, like, what you could be or who you could be or what you could do, you're just blaming yourself and learning how to be a chameleon instead of learning how to be who you are. When I think of Southern queers and trans people in the community that literally kept me alive, the first thought that comes to mind is love. It's like a feeling. It's like a big, warm embrace, or like massive Texas sky, blue and full of clouds. It's like that is the community that stewarded me. And I think that it feels like such an impossible landscape to like stay alive in or even thrive in, and it made it so important for me to have possibility models there. And I think that one thing that we can look to, people who are in that resistance movement right now, and doing that work, is how they don't leave anyone behind. They are incredibly outnumbered. They do not have this systemic power that so many people here do have access to on a state level, and yet they still know that their resistance is for them and it's for their community. It's not to win. It's like we resist because we know that it's how we keep our sovereign dignity, and it's how we show each other that we're worth the fight.
Yeah. So the whole bit, and it's the truth, is that I'm from Sweet Lips, Tennessee, and that's right next to Finger, which is like 30 minutes from Nutbush. But that's where Tina Turner's from, so you better watch your fucking mouth.
Thank you very much. I want to thank Nick, who was here. It was the last voice you heard. I want to thank Nick S. I want to thank Long. I want to thank Abby. I want to thank Asia. I want to thank Mary. I think I'm breathing, people, but that's all I got.
Here's my cat drum. Thanks, everybody. Alright, we'll be more verbose later, but do we have all of Tilda Teeth?
Almost.
Almost? Almost all of Tilda Teeth?
I hear the other half.
Yeah. I love this. When they said I could have 3, you then have this amazing undertaking of like, well, how do you like cram it fucking full of the best artists and the most representation you can fucking have in 3 weeks? And that's been the goal, right? When they let one of us in, they let fucking all of us in. And that doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter at all who you are. That matters that we're all fucking together. If you need an ally, they're all around this fucking room. Right? They don't want any of us, so they get all of us down their fucking throat.
Love prevails. Collaborate. Compliment. Love prevails. Love prevails. Show me love. Show me love. I mean.
learning Spanish, a little Spanish. Totally suicide. And that was the way that I saw. Reading in Spanish, older than me. So like my best friend,
There's so much prison in your nose. When you can hold it, you can damn it. If I name you, I betray you. If I hold you, I damn you.
Thank you.
That's it, everybody. Thanks to Tilly T. Thanks to all the performers. Thanks to Jack Straw. Thanks to all of you. It's been a great night and a great little series. Stay strong, stay safe. Break shit.